Good morning, everyone. Marty, we're here from Martys Garden. I tell you what, I'm fired up. I'm a bit upset. The ACCC have come down hard on two places, and we know we've been getting ripped off. We've been getting scammed. They're probably two of the most untrusted places in Australia to go shopping now. And if you can let me know in the comments box down below that you know what they are, and I'm sure most of you do if you've been watching the news and watching what's going on. We've been getting scammed big time. But how do we get around it, guys? How do we get around it? Well, a guy named Phil rang me up the other day, one of the subscribers, and he said, over in WA, they've got like an anti-Woolies thing going on. Oh, I just gave it away. Woolies and Coles. Yep, they're in trouble. And the anti-Woolies Coles movement is happening, and people are starting to take control because they know that they've been charging $10 for something, and then they whack it up to 12, leave it there for a few weeks, and then bang, down to, say, $11.50, and say, down, prices are down, down, prices are down. Well, I'm sorry, guys. We are not that stupid. I know. I've been watching it. I've been complaining for quite a while now. Even if you watch the channel, you know. I've been complaining off and on in some different videos ever since, well, quite a while. I don't know how to date back, but in the last few weeks, we decided to solve the problem. The garden, yep, cost of living. We're calling it cost of living crisis garden, but now I've changed the name to the cost of living victory garden. We're going tomatoes and all different types of things, all types of edibles, sweet potatoes, basils, herbs, chives, whatever, little mini capsicums, chilies, foam box things, whatever we can get growing in here. And I'm looking at different ways we can grow things like more perennial sort of crops as well that can grow on and on and on. So once we get them going, they double, like example, like a green onion, the spring onions. You can plant them seed, and as long as you get bunching ones, you will have them forever. How to take cuttings and things like that from your basil so you have it as long as possible. There's lots of different ways around this. But for the moment, I've got to let you know I'm sick. I wasn't even going to get out and make this piece of content this morning because I was just like, I was up from sort of 1 o'clock to 3:30 this morning, couldn't breathe, you know, just had to sit up and watch a bit of YouTube and watch some gardening videos and get some ideas for the back here because I'm really excited about this. You can see where my hand is there. That's like a composting system. We're going to add on a worm farm onto the side as well. And the bales, now you don't have to use the bales. This is just something else that I'm doing. We'll be slowly just composting down on site, and then we'll be able to plant around them, underneath them, on top of them, all that type of stuff. So that's a bit of fun. But you can do like a no-dig system if you don't want to follow along with the bales. Now, what I've got here, we're getting closer. I'll give you a little bit of a view here. My wife just got back. You know, you're really popular in the you're really popular in that video about the sweet potato harvest and our sweet potatoes.
Yeah.
They love you. Thumbs up if you love Shirley. Let us know in the comments box down below. She just finished her shift, actually, night shift. She got the Shirley wave. She's not connected up to a microphone, so hopefully we can hear her. Anyway, let's go and have a look at some of the plants. I'm sort of just I'm just doing it freestyle here with the phone camera because, as I said, I'm not well, guys. I'm pretty sick, actually. I've been coughing up some of the worst green stuff around. And I want to show you like an idea of like a plant that you can grow for a few years and you can get lots of food off. Now, one of these, this is an eggplant. This is the long purple variety. And it's only, it's basically still a seedling growing in that potting mix that I showed you in the last video, just a cheap potting mix with some cow manure. It's actually compost. It's very cheap compost with 1/3 cow manure and a tiny bit of blood and bone and potash. Now, that plant will produce could produce for 2 years or more if I take good care of it. Now, this one here, I put into one of these bags, man, the grow bag, because they aerate and they do dry out a lot faster, but the water will go through this and into the bale down below and help cure, and that's called a snaxicum. Now I can have that for years as well. It's a perennial. So I'm looking at these plants going, how do we have these ones that we can keep on growing and going on so we don't have to spend our money, we can save money at the time. Now, strawberry as well. Now this is just, I'm not sure if this is an everbearing. I think it might be just an everbearing, but it had a little thing coming off it. Unfortunately, for some reason it died. I don't know why it's dropped it, but there's a little flower there, so little strawberry coming out. And these will throw out runners like this, and then you get more plants. So one strawberry plant is good for about 4 years, and then they stop being so productive, but they'll throw out like many. So you can start with one plant. I'd start with like 3 or 4, and then you'll have more than you'll ever need. You can put them all around the place, hang them in baskets and things like that. You can even hang them off the baskets, off these trellises type of thing if you want to do that. So they're plants that you can keep on with succession. And as I said, if you buy some green onions, they're a really good one. Right? We cook with them a lot, the spring onion. So that's something that we're looking at. Now I'm going to come around here, around the back here. We'll see if we can get this in a little bit closer. This guy here. So we've got some parsley going at the back here. Here's a Tommy Toe cherry tomato here, and this is a little miniature pumpkin, and it's called, I keep forgetting the name, but it's called Jack B. Little. Now I've heard some different reports on it. I'm going to bring it around. It's a little bit heavy. Sorry, we're not cutting into the video at the moment, guys, but I'm going to bring it around, give you a look at it. We've potted it up, and it's just in that pot, the mix that I've told you about. Actually, this one actually is in one of my mixes, looks like. So I've got some of them mixed up, so I better be careful with that when I'm telling you what's going on here. But yep, that's a Jack B. Little, and you can save the seed from those guys. Really easy to save seed from pumpkins, and you can eat the pumpkin seed as well if you dry them out, and there's always heaps of seed. Let me know, anyone, in the comments box down below if you dry out pumpkin seed or anything like that as well to keep getting more food going on. Now over here, I've decided to start building over this area as well. And if you can see here, it's another type of sort of bale garden. It's actually a no dig. This is just filled full of a type of like wood chip sort of compost sort of thing, and a bale in the middle. And I'm going to be planting all around the outside and then on top of the bale as well. And this is going to be an area where we're going to have pumpkins sort of slowly creep in, and we're going to train them around the garden, and I'll have some other things as well growing sort of out of there. Now, I really want you to think about your vertical space. It's really important to understand that plants do need support as well. So you can see like this eggplant, which is in, so probably about 18 months old now, I would say, or maybe only a year. But it's, you know, we had to trim it off all around the bottom because it was all falling down. But as it gets bigger and it gets heavy, I can tie it onto this trellis here. It really should be probably back a little bit further in the middle, and I can tie it up. But there's a big worm farm in below, which is sort of self-feeding the whole system. So you really need to think about your trellis systems, guys. Now, I've got here a nice big tomato plant growing here, and I've got him trellised up. And then over here, whoopsie daisy, look at this. This is my cucumber. Now I know people are going to get a bit annoyed with me with this wild filming, but look at that. So he's going to come up onto that trellis there, and he'll do really well growing onto that trellis and produce me a lot of cucumbers. We've got about half a dozen cucumbers scattered around the garden in different places, and you can see it's right next to the worm farm getting self-fed. Now, you don't have to have them next to worm farms like I do. If you give them good compost and a good feed and just keep the water up to them and enough sunlight, the tricky thing with cucumbers is don't get the leaves wet if you can. So there's a pole running up here, so I'm going to run it up this pole and then up this vertical one here, and that'll be more than enough space for that pumpkin. But anyway, let's get back to the Woolies and Coles thing, because I feel like we need to make a stance, and the cost of living is really out of control, and they've pushed it that hard where they've made it, you know, it's a part of our daily expense. is to go shopping and to buy the food that we need for home to eat, you know. They've created a part of this problem, and really, they're in trouble. They need to work on solving it, guys. They need to help us out here a bit, bring those prices back down. And it's all about where we spend our money as well. But what I'm recommending is you take more control of your security, your cash flow. And as my mate Phil said over in WA, g'day Phil, growing food is money. And I totally agree on that. I reckon growing food is money. I'd love to hear how you feel about the whole situation here. We're going to say goodbye to my wife while she's checking out social media. I'm sure she's not watching YouTube. No, Martys Garden. You're reading something? All right, give a big Shirley wave. We're going to do the flexi hand. Thanks for coming, guys, and I'll see you soon. I'm really not feeling that well today. My throat and stuff's killing me. Anyway, let's go. Are you ready? Bye for now.